We all know Wednesday Addams is anything but normal, and the same goes for her strength, with surviving the impossible to summoning psychic visions of the future and casually saving her entire school from being exterminated. Today we're breaking down her levels of strength, starting from the very first episode. When some bullies messed with her brother Pugsley, Wednesday didn't just stand up for him, she dropped an entire tank of piranhas into their swimming pool. At age of 5, she was already driving getaway cars for Uncle Fester, robbing the entire bank. And even now in episode 2, season 2, she is casually stealing a car on Enid's drive test just to get to Tyler. Now, stealing cars is one thing, but wait until you see her in a fight, because at 10%, Wednesday takes on enemies head to head and barely even flinches. In episode 1, she casually outclasses other students in hand-to-hand combat, like it's nothing. Episode later, she fights Bianca, and maybe she doesn't win with her. However, she survives a slush in the head like it's nothing, which only proves how strong she is. And that's just 10% power. At 25%, she becomes a master tactician and fighter. And nowhere is this clearer than in season 2, episode 3, Call of the Woe. This episode takes away her biggest weapon, which is her visions. For characters such as Enid, for example, taking the only superpower would mean game over, but not Wednesday. Instead, she proves that her brain and body are weapons strong enough to win wars. First, she turns the school rivalry challenge into a battlefield. She calls in Eugene with his swarm of bees, an unexpected strike force that immediately gives Nevermore the upper hand. Then, when chemical smoke fills the arena, taking out Hugo and even Enid in her werewolf form, Wednesday walks through it untouched. That moment alone tells you everything you need to know about her resilience. She's literally unstoppable, even when everyone else falls. And the finale, she fires a crossbow, straps onto a zipline, and launches herself off a cliff straight into the enemy tower before grabbing the egg that seals victory. It's pure chaos turned into perfect strategy, and Wednesday's the one pulling every string. So if Wednesday can turn a simple school rivalry into a full-blown military operation, what happens when she faces monsters that actually want to kill her? At 50% power, Wednesday isn't just playing games anymore. She's stepping into battles that should have ended her life. And the best example, the fight against Joseph Crackstone. He isn't just some random ghost story. He's a resurrected warlord with centuries of vengeful magic coursing through him, brought back by Laurel Gates with one mission: to exterminate every outcast in existence. On paper, this is unwinnable. Wednesday, just one teenage girl with a sword against a fully juiced up dark sorcerer with the power to tear Nevermore apart. And yet she doesn't back down. Even after being stabbed through the torso by Crackstone, Wednesday keeps fighting. Imagine the pain and the blood loss, the fact that her body should have just given up, but instead she pushes forward, fueled by rage and defiance. Then her ancestor Goody Addams literally manifests, reviving her with enough strength to go one more round. And this is where Wednesday's true battlefield strength shines. Not just her blade, but her ability to forge alliances. She doesn't fight Crackstone alone. She rallies Bianca, her former rival, who lands a critical strike. She inspires Enid to finally embrace her werewolf form to tear through the enemy forces. And she even brings in Eugene, whose swarm of bees becomes the final chaotic push that tips the battle. This proves that the level of Wednesday's leadership and charisma is out of this world, but now it's time for her main power. Because her visions stop being just detective clues, they become her sharpest weapon. This is where her psychic side takes over. In season 2, episode 2, her visions reveal Agnes as her stalker, letting her stop Enid from walking straight into a death trap. Without that flash of foresight, Enid would be dead. What's more, Wednesday can even go hundreds of years back with her visions, all the way to Gotti's times. And finally, in episode 7, when she kisses Tyler, one kiss is enough for her to see the horrifying truth that he's a hide. No one else had a clue, but she instantly uncovers the monster hiding in plain sight. You could say this vision saved the entire series from falling apart. But here's the scary part. She doesn't control when these visions happen. They're violent, involuntary, and leave her physically drained to this level she ends up losing them. We've seen her surviving hide attack, getting shot in torso, saving school, and even working as an Uber driver. And yes, those things matter, but that's not her ultimate strength, because there's one state of Wednesday that's stronger than all the others, and every time we've seen it, she's been unstoppable. When Thing was stabbed in season 1, episode 7, she didn't hesitate. She became more determined than ever to find the person who did it and even kill him, no matter the cost. When Enid was trapped under Agnes's knives, Wednesday didn't blink blink, she walked straight into danger to pull her out. You could feel how much it meant to her, and when they switched bodies, her biggest fear was Enid's death. And now her biggest quest isn't even about herself, it's about bringing Enid back to her human form, even if it means sacrificing her own life. Her true strength is the scariest and most powerful thing in life, something that no one, not Crackstone, not Laurel Gates, not even death itself can stop. At 100% power, Wednesday's strength comes from love.